Today we are talking about anger and how do we heal or control or just make sense of this emotion which comes in us with the speed of like thousand wild horses. You know, it just comes with that rage and with that intensity. And there are two ways. Either we take it out on somebody and we break the person in front, or we drink it in and we create a damage within our system. While at that moment, it may seem as we have taken all the anger inside, however, it will, in a very unrelated fashion, come out on somebody else or probably on the same person, but may not be for a valid reason at that point in time. So, as per research and a lot of spiritual leaders, the best way to deal with that situation is to step back and pause for a moment. It's not easy because, like we said, the energy is that of 1,000 wild horses. However, once we try to step back just for a moment, those 1,000 wild horses may probably just seem like a mule. We can experiment with ourselves and see what happens. There have been stories, and anger is something all of us experience. It's very, very human to experience that emotion. It's just the way it's not, the emotion is not wrong. It can be very, very constructive as well. It's how we deal with that emotion at that point in time. It is said that the great artist Michelangelo, whenever he felt angry, he would just go next to his stone, his art, and he would just start hitting the stone and start creating a sculpture. And then that's what is said, that something very beautiful would come out of, a masterpiece would come out of that moment. But he redirected that emotion. It is said that there are schools in Japan which teach children from a very, very young age that if we get angry, we need to start focusing on breath. Or a lot of therapists have this very, very simple technique which may seem simple but is actually powerful if one practices, is that if you're feeling angry, you just clench your fist for just a couple of seconds and it will pass. You don't have to do anything, you don't have to put an effort for it to pass. On its own, it passes. So, what probably these three examples tell us is that we need to give some space, we need to pause and probably look at ourselves and that situation as an observer. And there is a natural process for that rage or for that emotion to heal. There's another story which I was listening in one of Osho's audios, is of a spiritual master and a philosopher, a Russian philosopher called Gurdjieff. And so Gurjeet was 9 and he had already lost his mother. And as a young kid, there's a situation where his father is also ailing and his father is about to die. And he just says that I want to have a conversation with you. This could be the last conversation we are having. And I am not going to give you anything. There's nothing which I can offer you. I cannot offer you any wealth or property or money. But this is the piece of advice which will, if you follow it, once you have more understanding and you mature, and once you follow it, will change your life. And the piece of advice his father gave Gurjeet when he was just 9 years old was that if ever there is a situation that there is a person in front and he or she does something that creates a sense of rage or anger within you, tell that person, give me 24 hours and I'm going to come back and respond to you and answer you. And his father actually made Gurjeet say this 3 times before he went away. And probably this became one of Gurjeev's strongest mantra to live by. And those who have tuned into his writings, such a wise man, spiritual man, this actually changed his life. So it is an emotion. All of us go through it all the time. There are many reasons which come up in our external environment. However, by pausing and by observing, we can just redirect that emotion so that it does not harm us internally, neither does it burn the person in front. Have a beautiful day ahead.